Hello everybody. If you are new to watching my channel, that is okay, because guess what? It's new to me. So welcome and thank you for watching. My name is Andrea. I am a 45-year-old single mother of 2 teenagers, and one of whom is very challenging. Whew, deep breaths. If you have teenagers, maybe you understand, maybe not, I don't know. I am on a weight loss / healthy me journey, or adventure, whatever you want to call it. And I'm about 5'9" right now. Gravity is working, of course. And as my spine is compressing, I'm sure I've probably lost a ½ an inch or so. I don't recall, but I'm pretty sure the last time I was at the doctor's office and they checked my height, pretty sure that I wasn't 5'9" anymore. So this video is intended for me to talk about my starting weight, which was 287.6 pounds. The doctor's office rounded up to 288, but I'm going with 287.6. And I want to talk about my weight, how it's come down over the 13, almost a full 13 weeks since I started my weight loss journey. And then catch you up on how I am continuing to lose weight, what I'm doing to help myself continue to lose weight, and how I'm sticking with it. Talk a little bit about that. So how are we making that all happen? So here we go. First things first, getting a scale. Took me a couple weeks to break down and finally realize, after watching several YouTube videos, that it's really hard to track your weight loss if you're not weighing yourself. So I broke down and on week 3 went and bought a scale. I got a smart scale. Probably should have bought the one that everybody else recommended, but I was trying to be cheap. So I bought one at Walmart. And it does sync to my phone with an app, and I can track it, and it shows me a graph and data, and it does all of the bone mass and water weight and muscle mass, all of that kind of stuff. I don't know how accurate it is. It just seems like it's just whatever my weight trend is, that's the trend that everything else is. I don't know. I wouldn't think that my bone mass would change as I'm losing fat, and possibly some muscle along the way. I thought my bone mass would stay the same, but it's trending as well. So I don't know how accurate it is. I'm not going to put my trust or stock into any of that stuff other than weight and BMI. But it's kind of nice to take a look at and just see what it says. Let's see where I'm at. So getting on the scale, weighing yourself, finding out how much you weigh would be step 1, and then tracking that. So whether you trust the app or you can do what I do, because I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop and for either the internet to go out, the power to go out, my phone to stop working, something to go wrong. So pen and paper, tried and true, keeping track of it. So I just wrote down the date, my weight, and I'm continuing to do that up until today, which is over here. And then I'm just keeping a little tally of it off to the side of how much weight I lost each week, which I will run through in a couple minutes. And then the other thing that I did and started doing was keeping a journal where I am keeping track of kind of anything that's popping in my brain, that I might either want to share with YouTube, although I don't share it with anybody but like my coworkers and occasionally my family. For some reason, it's a heck of a lot easier to talk to YouTube land. And so, hey, if you want to hear my story and you're interested in it, I'm happy that you want to hear that, because it's way easier to talk to you guys than it is to talk to people within the community. So that's what I'm doing. So my video journal is what you all are seeing. My hard copy journal is notes from myself about my day, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. And then, because everybody out there who are the original GLP-1 users suggested, they have digital trackers that they use, whether it's a spreadsheet or they've created their own documents. I could have just borrowed one of theirs because they put them out there for free for people. And if that's your jam, go ahead and print one for yourself. I definitely encourage you to do that. for me, I like to reinvent the wheel and make things hard for myself. So that's what I did. And I created my own Google sheet, and I just put down, you know, a grid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks wide, and then filled in date, weight, tracking whether or not I exercised for the day. Or for the week. So just a check mark. Calorie intake. I did a little stick person, and I just track where I did my injection site for that week, and then tracking with emojis how I'm feeling, what shot number I'm on, and my dosage for the Zepbound, which is the GLP-1 / GIP medication that I'm currently taking, and then notes. So, you know, whether I'm feeling or hearing or whatever my brain does when it has food noise or food chatter, or the food is calling to me, any side effects that I'm having that week, decreased hunger, increased hunger, halfway through the week, you know, am I having injection site issues, you know, just kind of whatever. Just little notes about how I'm feeling. But definitely tracking your side effects is important, so you can kind of see if they correlate with your injection site, and if changing your injection site, which Eli Lilly does recommend that we rotate our injection sites, just kind of keeping track of that. And if you're not on a GLP-1 journey, track everything anyway, because it does help to look back and know what's working, and then be able to correlate it to something and know why it's not working. You know, did you drink enough water that week? Did you meet your exercise? Whatever you set yourself up for an exercise plan. It's helping me hold myself accountable, I guess, is what it's also doing. So tracking those things is very helpful to me. The other thing that I have done is also used some apps that have been very helpful. So like I said, the Scale app, I have an app through VHI, which is part of our insurance company. It's called Hinge Health, and I do my physical therapy exercises through them, but they also have a huge library of other kinds of exercises that you can do on there too. So I've been doing some exercising. I use that app, and I'll see if I can figure out how to link that below, because they did give me a link that I can share with people. I don't know exactly how to do that, but I'm going to figure it out just for you guys. In case you're curious, you can, I don't know, it's free through my school. So maybe it's free through your insurance company as well. And it's worth checking out because it's great. Step by step is what I need when I'm doing exercises, to know how to do them correctly so that I'm not injuring myself or pulling muscles or doing whatever. And that definitely walks you through how to properly do the exercises that are recommended for that particular body part. I specifically signed up for hip and back exercises, but their library has full body exercises as well, anywhere from 9 to 15 minutes long. And you can kind of target the areas, and it actually has not just a robot on the other end of it. There's a live health coach who actually called me, and I talked to her on the phone. And then there's a physical therapist assigned to each person, and they have little buttons you can click at the end of each exercise to tell whether or not it was too easy or too difficult. There's some videos on there that walk you through how to do that, but also how to modify the exercise to be at the right level where you're at. So you can either amp it up and make it harder if it was too easy, or you can tone it down if you need to modify your position, like doing a plank. I couldn't do a plank at first when I first started doing those exercises, so they modify it and tell you to put your knees down, how to hold your hands. And anyway, I'm raving about it. It's a great app, and it's been great for me. Excuse me. So that is something you can check out. It's been helping me stay accountable. They send me a notification. It's time for exercise. And you can set up your notification dates and times so that it'll notify you each day. That's important to me because I know around 7 o'clock at night is when I'm supposed to be doing them. And that's usually when I have time in my evening. So I will work out in the evening and do some kind of an exercise. So that has been very helpful. To get back to weight loss and where I'm at, if anybody is curious, but again, for my own reasons of keeping this journal going, And I'm always curious when I'm watching other YouTubers out there. I appreciate that you guys share this information because it helps me to know that there are people out there who are doing the same thing that I'm doing and making this magical medicine work for you or whatever weight loss journey you're on. Maybe you're not using a GLP-1 medication and you're fighting the fight. I'm with you and proud of you for doing it. So August 14th was start date, 287.6 pounds. That was week 1 through 3 because I didn't have the scale till the 3rd week. I lost 12 pounds. Week 4, I lost 3.8 pounds. On week 5, I lost 5.8 pounds. On week 6, 3.4 pounds. Week 7, I lost 2.6 pounds. Week 8, I lost 6 pounds. Week 9, 2.2 pounds. Week 10, I lost 3.6 pounds. Week 11, only 0.2 pounds. Week 12, 3 pounds. And week 13 is the week that I'm in right now. Tomorrow will be my shot day and I can update you all on this week's weight loss after tomorrow. I'm thinking it's going to be around 2 pounds for the week. But you never know because my weight definitely fluctuates anywhere a couple pounds depending on the day. So definitely I'm very happy with those numbers. I'm happy to say that I've lost at least 42.6 pounds, totaling all of that up. And like you just heard, it definitely varies by the week. Some days I lost a lot more than I was expecting to, and other weeks I barely lost anything. So my original plan going in and setting up my calories, which I'm tracking using an app called My Net Diary. I just have it on my phone. You can use the scanner to scan your barcodes on your foods. I'm using that. It originally set me up with a 1,200-ish calorie deficit for the first week that I was using the app. And then when I plugged in my first weight loss, they realized that I had lost, and I'm sure that's all computer generated. That's not a live person looking at it going, oh, you're not eating enough. Maybe you need to up your calories. So it whatever it did, it calibrated it. And so that I wasn't in such a calorie deficit for that. But I still continue to lose weight even after they upped it. So now I'm eating about 1,300 to 1,500 calories a day. And I've consistently been losing, staying within that calorie deficit. I'm not super stringent about making sure that I stay too low in the calories. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm eating calorically dense foods, I guess, for the most part. More whole foods. I'm trying to cut out as much processed food as I can. Trying to make more things at home, which is my biggest hurdle right now, is trying to meal plan and meal prep. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I started out with the goal in that app to lose anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds a week. And it definitely, I've lost more than that. Intentionally losing weight, but I didn't intend to lose as much as I did each week. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't end up with Ozempic face and just look like I was melting. So I wanted to lose it slow and steady. I'm happy that I lost more weight. Like that one week in week 8, when I lost 6 pounds, I was like, holy crap. I did not expect that. I'm thrilled, but I didn't expect it. And I'm, again, the type of person who's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I keep waiting and wondering, like, is this going to stop working for me all of a sudden? Am I going to become resistant to this medication and it's not going to work anymore? Am I going to not be able to stick to it? Am I going to all of a sudden want to go and binge eat like I used to do with other diets? And so far, God bless Eli Lilly and the inventors of Zepbound, because I have had success and continue to have success with this medication. I started out like everybody else who started on Zepbound or Mounjaro, I think, is the medication that is the same tirzepatide active ingredient and made by Eli Lilly. And 2.5 is the loading dose. Some people have just decided they're going to camp out at that dosage, from what I'm hearing from the YouTube land. Zepbound, 2.5 milligram dose is the loading dose of Zepbound and Manjaro. And then from there, you titrate up to 5 milligrams. And then after that, depending on how you're doing, this is according to my doctor and what I've been hearing, you can either titrate up to the next level, which it goes up 2.5 milligrams each dose from there, or you can kind of stay where you're at until it doesn't work for you anymore, meaning that your food noise or your hunger increases. So there are lots of different reasons why people are titrating up. Some people are having to titrate up because their insurance is telling them to. And I think that is so wrong. It needs to be the doctors who are making the decisions to work with their patients and figure out when to titrate up. The insurance company shouldn't have anything to do with it. They're there to support what the doctors are prescribing. And I don't know. I have lots of opinions about that. But my insurance company has been doing wonderfully well, and I'm so very grateful for them for covering this medication for me. I've had no problems in getting the medication filled, except for one time when I went to the pharmacy to get my refill and they didn't have it, so I went and looked at a different pharmacy that was local and they had it. So other than that, I've had no difficulties, and I've continued to just pick it up there. I have stayed at the 5 milligram dose for 1, 2, 3 months. 1 or 2 or 3. I like that. Anyway, yeah. So 3 months-ish now, with 5 milligrams of Zepbound. I only stayed on the 2.5 milligram. It worked really well for me, and I kind of wish I just stayed at 2.5. But I was kind of feeling like the food noise was coming back a little bit. So I figured I would just titrate up to 5 milligram and then stick here until it doesn't work for me anymore. And that's how it's worked so far. So I'm sticking with it for this month, and then we'll reevaluate at the end of the month. So what else have I been doing? I have been tracking my calories. I have been trying to exercise. Exercise has included walking. If I'm going for a walk, it's usually on the bike path with the dogs, and I'm trying to walk at least 2 miles when I do that. Since the time change and getting home late at work, it is dark out and it has been crappy weather lately, and I don't want to go out and walk at night. So I haven't been doing that very much, which is not making the dogs very happy. So if I'm not walking, then I'm trying to stick with doing something else. At the bare minimum, that is doing my physical therapy exercises with the Hinge Health app. If I'm not doing, I'm always doing that bare minimum every night. Including on top of that, I'm doing one of a couple of different things. One option being I pulled out some of the old Wii machine stuff. So the Wii 2, I have the Wii Fit board for, and I've been trying to do some exercises with that. I love doing the little Wii stepping exercises, and the boxing one where it's rhythmic boxing. I like doing that. Those are super fun. I tried doing the Ring Fit with the Switch. I bought that for my daughter a couple years ago for Christmas, and it gets used every once in a while, but for the most part, she hasn't been using it. Man, I did that the other night, and my shoulders were so sore because you do a lot. It's like a steering wheel kind of, and you put the remote into it, and it squeezes, and you have to pull it apart, and you put it above your head and down low, and wicked good arm workout. And then lots of squats because you do squats instead of running in place. Anyway, that was really fun. I tried doing Zumba the other day with the Wii Fit. I didn't love it as much as I used to. I definitely didn't. I used to love doing that. And I hate to say it because I used to love it so much, but I didn't enjoy it. And I'm finding that if I don't enjoy doing the exercise, I'm not likely to continue to do those exercises. So why put myself through something that I'm not enjoying when there are more enjoyable exercises out there? So I'm sticking with the ones that I like. Then I have a weight machine that I traded my ex-husband for. I think I got the better end of the deal because the weight machine has the stacked weights in the back and then the cables, and you can do full body workout with it. And I've been using that. probably every other day, if not once every 3 days. And I traded.
It was a good deal. You gotta trade your ex-husband for a weight machine.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, my son just said, "Oh, you traded your ex-husband for a weight machine? That would have been a really good deal too." I would have taken that deal. And anyway, he got my old bike, and I got the weight machine. Yay me! Yeah. So weight machine, and then I found some videos on YouTube with somebody I was looking for resistance band exercises, because with the Hinge Health, they sent me a yoga mat and some resistance bands. And I really wanted to learn how to use the resistance bands properly. So there was a lady who posted a beginner video for resistance bands, and she has her mom on the video with her, and they adjust the exercises depending on age and ability. And I thought that was really cool. And they incorporated the resistance bands in with some walking exercises, so I can walk in the house when I don't want to walk outside. And I really enjoyed it. And I have no clue who she was. So if I can find her videos again, I will try to figure out how to post it in the description. So if anybody else is interested, you can easily find it. Like I said, meal planning and prepping have been my hardest hurdle to tackle. Trying to take the time to plan a meal and then grocery shop for it, and then set aside the time to actually pull together the meals has been complicated. I'm still working on it. I'm going to meet with the dietitian probably one more time so he can try to help me pull things together and figure out how to plan better. I'm hoping that will be helpful. I wish I were a person who had lots of wealth so I could just pre-order meals and just have them in the freezer at the ready, or just, have the money to go and subscribe to everybody's super cool freezer meal recipe sites, and then it would be super easy. But I'm not a person who's willing to spend that much money on things like that. So I am cheap me, and my mom and my aunt lovingly went to the resource store and found me some awesome low-calorie cookbooks. So I encourage you to go do that too. Go check out, go to the library and check out the cookbooks that they have there. There's tons of recipes online. There are lots of options so that you don't have to spend extra money to try to find recipes that work for you. Resource Store has had tons of them, and I think they got like a whole bag full of books for like $1, and that included like 4 or 5 recipe books. So I've been looking through those and pulling meals from them. And then we're testing them out and see which ones we like. My goal is to have a freezer stock full of freezer meals in recyclable or compostable Ziploc bags, because I hate throwing all the Ziploc bags into the trash and just having all that plastic end up in our landfills. That's my brain that talks to me saying, don't do that. So compostable freezer bags, and having the whole meal ready, just throw it in the crock pot in the morning and then come home from work and having a meal ready is ideal. I've done that 4 or 5 times, and it has been super wonderful to have those. I'm just not great about taking the leftovers out of the crock pot, figuring out how I'm going to store it, and then have the crock pot clean and ready for the next morning. So I'm working on it. A work in progress. I'll let you know how that goes. And if I find anything that works for me, I will share that information with you guys. The other thing that I've been doing is trying to increase my protein. And mostly I've been doing that by adding protein shakes into my diet, my day. So starting the day with a protein shake, or having a protein shake or a meal replacement shake for lunch. My favorite meal replacement shake so far has been Kachava. And I know if you're on YouTube, you've probably been marketed to buy Kachava. If you have the money to spare, it's amazing. It has amazing ingredients in it. And I feel so good when I'm drinking those daily. But it comes at a cost. It's really expensive for 15 servings. So for me, it's not something that I can sustain having every day. So I get like 1 bag every couple months, and then kind of just when I need them, when I don't have time to prepare a full meal and I know I'm missing some nutrients, then I'll make one of those. But they're great. So if you have extra money laying around, I encourage you to give it a try. If not, I met with my dietitian and we kind of found a recipe that would work for making a homemade smoothie with fruits there weren't that many veggies in it, but one trick that he told me, which I have not tried yet, but I'll share it with you, is to take like a 1-a-day kind of vitamin, a multivitamin tablet, and throw it in your smoothie. So if you're missing something that you thought you needed to have nutrient-wise, vitamin-wise, then throw one of those in, and that'll get you whatever you need. I feel like that's going to change the texture. And I don't have any of those vitamins in the house. I have gummy vitamins right now, and I'm not throwing those in the blender. They're kind of like a little treat, and I look forward to having them in the mornings. So maybe eventually, when those are gone, I will try throwing a multivitamin in the blender and see how it goes. And then I'll let you know. I've started taking some supplements. I added biotin capsules. I take them 1 capsule a day. The bottle says you can take up to 5. That seems excessive to me, but so I'm just taking 1 for now. For hair and nail health, I'm super kind of afraid that these hairs up here are going to start jumping ship, and some of them have already jumped ship and come back in gray. I think that's just the point where I'm at in my life right now, where things are changing. So I thought taking biotin would help. I don't know if it will, but I'm trying to take precautions. I don't want to lose any more hair. I know in the past, when I did the hardcore dieting, when I went through the divorce diet, my hair thinned out. After having the kids, my hair started thinning a little bit. And it came back in, but came back in gray, and it didn't come back in as thick as it used to be. I don't know. Just trying to be preventative there and stay ahead of it. I added multivitamins, which I mentioned. So taking a multivitamin, I'm just taking the gummies through Amazon right now, the Amazon Basics. And then I bought magnesium powder drink mix. I thought that was going to be really good, and I wanted to have it on hand just in case I had any constipation or problems sleeping, like other people had mentioned having when they started taking Zepbound or a GLP-1 medication. I found that I haven't had that many side effects. So I've been very lucky in that sense. I had a couple times where I started feeling a little bit constipated, so I tried to make the drink. First time I made it, I made a full glass of it, and then I took the first sip and realized it was like drinking chalk, and it wasn't very enjoyable. So I forced myself to drink it. It did what it was supposed to do, got things moving along the next day. And then the next time when that happened and I made it again, it just made out a small glass. I didn't add as much water as I did the first time, and I just threw it back. And again, it does its thing. I have not had any problems sleeping. I am generally lacking in sleep as it is. So when my head hits the pillow, I'm out and I don't have problems sleeping, other than last night. But that was because I was at the dentist, and that's, if you're noticing my cheeks are really puffy, it's because I had a small cavity filled yesterday, and they couldn't numb the tooth. So 5 injections later of 2 different numbing agents, my soft tissues of my mouth all the way up to my eye are just sore. So all in all, that's why I'm feeling like a chipmunk today. Let's see. Things that have affected my weight loss have definitely been stress. When I've been stressed, when I'm lacking sleep, my monthly cycle has been changing as well. And when those things are happening, I notice that I'm not losing as much weight. When everything is as it should be. So I'm back. The camera has a 30-minute cutoff, and clearly I went over 30 minutes. So we're hitting record again, and I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for being here with me. If you're still here with me right now and you've watched all the way through, I really appreciate you listening to the ramblings of this crazy person. So things that are effectors of my weight loss have been stress for sure, lack of sleep, my monthly cycle fluctuating crazily. It's become more regular actually, and I won't give all the details, but I shouldn't be having a cycle right now. So I'm not sure what's happening there. That's a whole conversation for my my nurse practitioner and me that we'll be having next time I see them. If I'm eating really salty foods, I definitely notice that my body retains more water, and that affects my weight, obviously, because more water weight. So I have gone back and forth talking with my dietitian about salt, and the things that I didn't know about it were that he said the foods that we eat that are higher in salt don't affect my blood pressure as much as I thought they did. I always contributed eating salty food with and adding salt liberally to foods made my blood pressure go up. What he was saying is that the majority of people who have high blood pressure, it's not salt based. That's not the reason or the root cause of having high blood pressure. It's mostly genetic. So starting this whole weight loss healthy me journey, I thought that I was going to be able to get off of my blood pressure medication. And that was one of the big driving forces, is that I don't like to take medications. And I was kind of hoping to not have to take the blood pressure medication anymore. And I don't know that I'm going to get to that point. I'm hopeful, and I'll still keep my fingers crossed. And I'm still going to continue to have a reduced salt diet. I don't specifically follow the DASH diet, but I just try not to cook with salt. I try not to add it to food very often. Obviously, there are a few things in life that need salt, like eggs and potatoes. They just need salt. So, and pickles. Pickles need some salt too. So anyway, I just try not to eat a lot of foods with a lot of salt in them. And when I do, I notice that I get puffier and I'm not losing weight as quickly. Again, that's just water weight. So it's easy on, easy off, I think. And things that are helping me is making sure that I hit at least 2 to 3 bottles of water a day. Sometimes I have a Nalgene and that has a little bit more water in it than one of these, but I know that if I'm drinking 2 or 3 of these a day, 2 at the minimum, more if I can, then I know that those days I always end up losing more weight. If I walk as well, I don't know if that's just helping to move water weight out of my body or how it is if it's just burning more calories. But on the days that I go for at least a 2-mile walk, I have noticed that I've lost more weight as well. Other things that are affecting weight and just side effects and things like that in my body are the injection sites when I'm taking the Zepbound injection. So again, sticking with the 5 milligram dose, if I am injecting in the back of my arms, I can't say that I'm not losing weight, because I am. I think my biggest weight loss week was a week that I had injected in the back of my arm. But I also, during that week, it felt like I was back to the way that I was before I was taking Zepbound. So I felt normal. I didn't have a decreased appetite at all. I was able to eat like a full meal. And the food noise was coming back quickly. So first day I didn't have any food noise after the injection, but then after that, it started creeping back in, not full force, but it was definitely there. I noticed that when there was ice cream in the house and I had an injection that week in the back of my arms, like that, I knew it was there. And it was like, it was calling to me saying, come, you want to eat me, come have a spoonful. And knowing what I know now, I didn't give in to the temptation, but it was hard. And it was like bringing the battle back again. And I could have easily relapsed into old habits and gone and just eaten half a carton of ice cream. And luckily, I mean, this is but a tool and it's there for us. And I know that the next week, my injection site was not going to be the back of the arms, because I needed that food noise to go away. So then I go back to the reliable places that I know work well for me, which are stomach and thighs. So at this point, I've tried the backs of my arms, at least one on each side, and then one other, let's see, On my 5th shot I did in the back of one of my arms. My 8th shot I did in the back of one of my arms, and my 11th shot. So 5, 8, and 11 are the weeks that I did lose. The first 2, week 5, I lost 5.8 pounds. And week 8, I lost 6 pounds. And week 11, I only lost the 0.2 pounds. So I don't know. It is what it is, but most likely I probably won't inject in the back of my arms. Possibly I ended up losing more weight those first couple weeks because I had more food noise and I had more hunger. So to combat that, I ended up trying to do more exercise during the times when I was feeling like I had the munchies in the evening. When I was watching TV, I really wanted to relapse into just going and kind of binge eating while I was watching a show. So I instead got up and made myself go and do some exercises or sit at the weight machine and watch the show or do something active. And I was really trying to make myself go outside of the house where there wasn't food and like take the dogs for a walk. So those kind of things definitely maybe contributed to the extra weight loss during those weeks. But I know from here on out, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot and I probably am, but I probably am not going to do the injections in the back of my arms anymore. So I'll just rotate around stomach and thighs and just go from there. All of that being said, it seems also that I've noticed with the injections that it used to be at the beginning of the week after taking the injections, I would instantly feel the lack of food noise, and I would have suppressed hunger. I wouldn't want to eat very often. And kind of the last few weeks, maybe a month or so, have gone where I feel like they're a little bit flip-flopped, where I'm feeling the opposite end of that. So at the beginning of the week after my injection, I'm feeling ravenously hungry. And then I'll go to eat to fill that hunger void. And then I can't eat as much still, but I'm feeling very hungry. And then at the end of the week, I'm not feeling hungry, but I feel like there's more room to fill. I don't know if that makes any sense, but the food noise is kind of staying gone unless it's a week that I've done the back of my arms. Then the food noise comes back in a little bit. So I don't know what's going on there, but definitely it seems to have flip-flopped with the effects of the injection and feeling hungry and appetite suppression kind of stuff. So you can take what you can get from all of that. Let me know in the comments below what you are doing to further yourself along with your health journey. If you're on a health journey, and if you're not, let me know what you're up to anyway. So all of that to say, that's where I'm at now, and I'll wrap it all up. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other to the best of your ability without adding extra stress into your lives. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.